Geoff Rohoman from 680 News. You guys know who is, I guess, sitting across from me, kind of virtually. He's Canada's fastest man. I guess maybe soon to be the world's fastest man. Andre Degrassi joins me right now on Zoom. We're going to talk about this new partnership he's got going on. Andre, man, thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure, man. Now, before we get into the sprinting and Olympics and stuff like that, you've partnered up with GoDaddy, which is a great sort of tool for like small business, which is something that we really need to survive, especially right now with everything that we're going through. Talk to me about this partnership that you've worked out with GoDaddy and what it means for you.
Yeah, well, first of all, I've been a customer of GoDaddy since 2017 when I, started my foundation. So I'm very familiar with them. And when they approached me this year to work with them on a campaign or to do a commercial to support small businesses, I was all for it. I was like, yeah, this is the perfect time. We need to support small businesses and entrepreneurs during this time because everyone is struggling in this COVID crisis. So I was just really happy, really fortunate to be a part of it, and I was just blessed to be like, okay, wow, let's do it, let's make it happen. So definitely just getting to know the other actors, or not even actors, they're actually GoDaddy customers. Carly and Anthony, they were amazing, and getting to just know about their small business and how they've been managing through this crisis and just trying to adapt and everything. It was amazing. So definitely, if anybody, is a small business owner, you can create their free website at godaddy.ca. So definitely got to plug that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're gonna plug it like crazy. Like GoDaddy again is doing amazing work with these small businesses. They're able to create these websites and get more business flowing, especially right now where we're stuck indoors for the most part. We can't really get out, and these businesses are really feeling it. So it really is a great cause. Talk to me about filming the commercial because we see you on the track. We know you have this big personality, but something like that we were able to sort of like see it even more.
Yeah, it was actually my first time doing something like that where I had to move, be on the go, and also memorize lines and everything. So I definitely had to learn it quickly and fast. Yeah, I mean, when I got there, they gave me the lines and it was like, gave me some cues of, what I should do. So it was an all day affair actually. It took us about 8 hours to film the commercial, but it was fun. I enjoyed every moment of it. And I actually didn't get the chance to really see it until it was actually finished, the full product. And then, it was airing on TV and all that. So it was great. It was great feedback, great criticism. Everyone's like, I should go into acting. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, nah, probably not. But, I definitely had fun doing it, showing my personality a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to me about the idea for the commercial because it really is cool if you sort of running around to these different businesses. But the thing that came to my mind immediately, this is just the weird way that I think, is that in the past, GoDaddy commercials have been a little bit on the sexy side. They had I think there was a wrestler involved there. Was that ever on the table? Like, did you need to show some skin? Or was it always just like a running thing?
No, I think they just came up with this idea as time as what was going on in the real world with COVID-19, and they really just wanted to kind of just I'm not this, like, as you know, I'm not the star. The small businesses are the star, so they really want to just try to shine that spotlight on them. And it was a really easy concept to come up with. I mean, I know usually they work with like you said, the wrestlers or the Raptors, but they thought it was a good idea to have me in there and just show that Canadian pride. And so I just had fun doing it. I mean, it was amazing. Everything was great about it, and definitely something that as time goes on, I would like to maybe I might do something like that again. So we'll see.
I like it. Did you ever think, as a kid growing up in Scarborough, that you were going to be a sprinter, but did you ever think that you were going to get these opportunities to be in these national ad campaigns, be like this person that we know Canada wide and are cheering behind? Like, did you ever think that would become a reality for you?
No, not at all. I mean, I definitely didn't see this coming at all. I mean, even when I started and people were approaching me and, I had to, figure out who was going to manage me, behind the scenes throughout this whole process. And everyone was like, you could do this, you could do that. I was definitely shy at first and something that I shied away from. I was like, really? Like, I thought I'd just, stick to running. But as time went on, I definitely just enjoyed it, had fun. and just kept it going. So I've been enjoying all these new opportunities as life goes on.
Yeah, for sure. Again, the partnership is with GoDaddy. They're doing all kinds of great work to help out small businesses across the country, which really is a great thing right now, especially right now while we're dealing with this COVID-19 pandemic. Andre, I got to ask you about, what you're known for, which is sprinting, running. Talk to me about being the new face of like sprinting in Canada, because we've had this long history of like so many big names. Donovan Bailey, gold medalist. That's a moment that to me, I still think about that and I get chills just thinking about how big that moment was. And now we have you, who like a lot of Canadians really have gotten behind, because you're right up there with the elite of the elite.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, we haven't had a guy like myself since, like you said, since Donovan Bailey and Bruni Surin. So just from that '96 team winning the 4x1 gold medal. So it's definitely like a new crop. Like 20 years later now, 2 decades go by and a couple decades go by, and we're just like, okay, well, now I'm like one of the new faces. We have some other people, so it's been a really amazing opportunity for me. I just been sinking it all in, just enjoying every moment as it goes on, and hopefully as time goes on, I can be that guy to bring back a gold medal to Canada and relive those glory days.
Absolutely, for sure. And the entire country is behind you. Was it disappointing to have the Olympics pushed back because of COVID and all that? Or is an extra year of training a good thing?
Yeah. I mean, at first I was really disappointed and shocked of what was going on, but then literally right after that, I kind of was like, okay, there's way more important things that's going on in the world right now. So I kind of just shoved that to the back of my mind and was like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I've been to Olympics before, so there's going to be more Olympics. So just I really kind of just shoved it to my mind and was like, okay, there's COVID-19 going on. People are getting sick and dying. So I really just was like wow, like this doesn't mean anything to me. Like this is just something. This is like a hobby right now. Like this is, I know I love to do this, but there's a lot more important things going on. So I really kind of just led my name to a lot of things, a lot of initiatives, a lot of charitable activities as time was going on throughout this year. So but now, like as things are getting a little bit better now, and now they're saying that they rescheduled the Olympics for Tokyo 2021. Now it's kind of like, okay, I reset my mind. Now it's time to get back focused and do what I love. So definitely, like you said, it's an extra year of boost, an extra year to get better, to be mature a lot better, mature and just work on things that I never got a chance to work on. So definitely, I feel stronger, I feel healthier, and I'm a lot more wiser now as I'm getting older.
I like it. You talked about, being at the Olympics before, and a question that I've wanted to ask you for a long time was, of course, the famous picture of you and Usain from the last Olympics in the qualifying, where he's kind of wags his finger at you. What was that moment like? What was said? What was going through each of your minds? Like, I want to know everything about that moment. I know you have to condense it, but I'm so curious about that.
I know, yeah, I get that question a lot, but to be honest, I always tell people, I'm like, we didn't plan it. It just kind of just happened in the moment. I just remember I was like, my coach gave me some advice and was like, you're going up against him in the semifinals. You're gonna have to push it a little bit. It's top two that gets into the finals. You want to give yourself a good shot, a good lane in the finals. So I kind of just, I went after it, and literally I saw myself like neck and neck with him, and I saw him slowing down a bit. And I was like, okay, you're slowing down. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to slow down a bit too. I want to conserve some energy for the finals. And I looked at him, he looked at me, and it was kind of just, we just started smiling at each other. So it was just a kind of a way when he kind of did the finger wag. It was kind of like, hey, you're not gonna get me yet. Like, it's not your time yet. It's kind of like what he was trying to say. I'm gonna win this. So I kind of was just trying to just challenge him and just have fun with it and put on a show. So I really didn't know it was going to blow up the way it was until I got back home and saw the memes and went on social media. But it was just really just an incredible experience going up against him and winning a medal.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like I love that moment so much. I got to ask you a couple of just fun questions here. I'm curious. Like, we know you can run the 100, 200, 4x100, crazy speed. Do you run distance? Do you go for like a nice long jog in your spare time?
No, not at all. I mean, the most I've ever ran is like 400 meters.
Really?
Um, yeah, I can't like I've done some marathons like for fun for charitable initiatives, but sometimes I'm like I start off jogging. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna nail this. I'm gonna jog the whole way, this whole 5K or whatever it is, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just out of shape. I get tired and I start walking. So, but definitely it's one of my goals that when I'm done running, I'm like I need to try to do like a marathon or maybe a half a marathon, quarter marathon, whatever it is, and just enjoy that, just to see what it's like. So that's definitely on my bucket list for sure.
Amazing. I can just picture your neighbor seeing you try to go for a small jog, and then all of a sudden you turn the jets on, and you're just like that dust line from a cartoon, just going by their window. I know you're an East End guy. Grew up in Scarborough, right? I have this
Yeah.
I have this debate with one of my buddies. I got two questions. What's the best roti in Scarborough, and what's the best Jamaican patty in Scarborough?
I think roti. I go to Mona's.
Mona's, thank you, Mona's, 100%.
Yeah. And Jamaican. And I haven't been back there in Scarborough for a while for Jamaican food. But I'm kind of like in the East End, Pickering,
Yeah,
Ajax
okay.
area, so I kind of get some. So I think like Barrels is pretty good. But I think like even I guess Sunrise was one of the things I grew up eating when I was there. So yeah, I would say probably say along those lines.
Amazing.
But
I'm
definitely
so
anytime
happy
I'm home for roti, because that's where my parents are that background, and I grew up eating that food. If I can't get my mom to make it, I had to Mona's for sure.
Yeah, my dad is actually Guyanese. I know you probably can't tell, but like, so I grew up on that type of food too. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy you said Mona's. Like that just made my entire interview for me. I'm so happy with that. Talk to me about. I know you're a big sports fan. The Raptors winning the championship. I'm sure that was, I mean, a big moment for you because we have this weird. I shouldn't say weird, but we have this camaraderie, especially in Toronto, of like every team supports each other, every athlete supports each other, and they're all fans of each other. I know you're a big Raptors guy, so what was that like for you, just watching, finally a sports championship come to the Six?
Oh, it was incredible. Oh my goodness. Like I was like, wow. Like I just remember like I was so nervous watching the game and I'm like, come on guys, don't blow it. Don't blow. We're almost there. Like looking up at the scoreboard, looking up at the like, I'm like, come on, we got this. Like we're right there. And then just the way the city came together and unified for that championship, it was like wow, like it's like I'm so happy to be a part of that, like be a part of that generation to tell my kids and grandkids like as I witnessed something incredible like in sports history. So definitely that's got to be one of the top ones. I mean, for me, I was younger, so I didn't get a chance to see the Blue Jays when they won the World Series or when the Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup, or sorry, the Canadians won the Stanley Cup. So for me, it was like that I was actually part of that generation where I got to see the Raptors win it all. So it definitely was just an amazing moment.
Yeah, for sure. I just got a couple more questions. I won't keep you much longer. I'm curious, are you buying a PS5 tomorrow, or are you a big video game guy?
I'm not buying the PS5. I think it's sold out, but fortunate for me that it was my birthday yesterday,
Oh, happy
and
belated.
yeah, I got it as a gift. So it's
Amazing.
pretty cool.
Fantastic.
Like I haven't opened it yet, but that's my plan to do it probably this weekend.
Amazing, amazing. I'm jealous, man. And then my last question is, I mean, you probably don't get it anymore because you're this well-known sprinter, but I always wondered when you were sort of running in university and up and coming, and the commentators saw this Canadian kid. How often did you get the pronunciation of Degrassi as your last name? Like that had to happen all the time, right?
That happened all the time. I had to correct people. Everyone thought like I was like, guys, if you guys watch the show, Degrassi ends with the I, and my last name ends with the E. But I know the E is silent, so I mean it was tough for people. Like it happened throughout my whole like probably my whole childhood and even as like as a professional athlete. So I know it's tough, but finally people know my name, and that feels amazing that everyone could say it correctly. So I'm happy about that.
Absolutely, my friend. Hey, GoDaddy, the partnership, the commercials are on right now. It's a great tool for small business to get their websites up and running, which we really need right now during the pandemic. You can go to the GoDaddy website and set that up. Andre, if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to see what you're up to, social media handles, give them a shout out.
Yeah, my social media is Twitter, Instagram is DE6, for Toronto, RASSE. And yeah, that's kind of Facebook, just Andre Degrassi. And yeah, that's kind of like, all my handles. So yeah.
Amazing, my friend. I appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon to spend some time with me. Best of luck going forward at the Olympics, and let me know how that PS5 is working out for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again.
Perfect. Andre, if I can just